Second question, longevity is a controversial issue, and this part would take into account longevity pay. Is the PERS retirement based on what?
From the shootings we had, and you know, the public safety, people are sitting in this audience. I think this board would be remiss if we just said it's a joke. I didn't take it as a joke, and I think it's something that I take very serious. Number two, I keep hearing people come up here, and this is for people that might be watching this. I keep talking about this board should stop spending. Well, when I got on this board, this budget was about $1 billion, $990 million. And we cut over $200 million out of this budget. $200 million and still going down. So we are doing our part. And, you know, I don't know if anybody really expects us to cut $500 million overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. And so we've been adjusting to this economy. We've been adjusting to the revenue system of this county. We've been adjusting to the workload that we're faced with and meeting our mandate. And you know, as far as referring to citizens in this county that do need assistance, that need real assistance, animals or people that we're feeding at the cost, I find that very effective. And so, as I said, I'm speaking for myself. You know, I do think we have to separate people that don't have a need and people that do. There are people that have a need, and we can't turn our back on them.
Board of Supervisors, though.
And so. You know, how we separate that is very important, and that's the process that this board is going through. And so I just wanted to say those two things because I keep hearing it. I think the board is addressing some of these concerns. But the public safety one, I wanted the public to know why the board isn't concerned about that, or why I have that.
Hello, Rich Gins from Sassoon, Warren County Leadership. Thank you for your time. During the Enlightenment, the French philosopher Voltaire once said, "It is truly dangerous when you write about your government and they are wrong." So here we are today. Several weeks ago, we had Supervisor Spering blurt out that the reason that armed deputies are here present in the room was because he had seen the previous week an extremist political symbol on the back of one of the speaker's signing cards on here, and we discussed that matter, saying none of this seems to pass any semblance of a constitutional spell test. It seems to be restrictive of free speech, abridgment thereof, attempted criminalization thereof. So I was, to make a long story short on this chronology, I was reliably informed back at the end of last year in December that a decision had been made to place armed deputies in this room during these meetings. And so the word got out amongst the members of the Central Solano taxpayers group and other parties. And on January the 4th, I videotaped plainclothes deputies in this room. Okay, and so it doesn't jive with your statement on the what was it, the 18th or the 28th, saying that the reason that they were placed here, subsequent to the fact, was because of an extremist political symbol on the back. So it doesn't appear that what you told us is true. We've served all of you with letters demanding an explanation as to why the plainclothes deputies are here. And let me see, that was served on the 11th. On the 18th, you protested what was going on with this card, and on the 28th, you made your utterance about it. So it just doesn't add up with your explanation. We're still awaiting an explanation as to why on deputies. But I think we all know why they're here. Okay, it's because of me, right? What did I discover? What did I find here? I got it in my hand. In Sassoon, where you were a mayor, back in 2005 through 2008, we had a state police officer living there. He was running a drug and prostitution outfit next to my home with his kids and family. On their advice, I went out and made a citizen's arrest. Here's that arrest report right here. We pulled the records on this guy hanging out with the family of this state police officer. Discovered he's a convicted drug felon. And he goes on to commit other offenses, drug offenses after that. Now, I don't see how you can sit here and say that I, as a veteran, 24-year veteran with, accommodation medals, humanitarian service medals, with 2 excellent upward mobile children, you can say that I've been served here, okay? Clearly, I haven't, okay? Here's this creep's arrest record and his rap record. It's 2 pages long. How can you say that I've been served. So we know why Sheriff Stanton is, we don't know what you're telling him. He's probably told you that I have 2 horns and a tail. Okay? Thank you. My time is up. You have an eternity to explain yourself.
Patience here. I don't think any member of this board has asked the sheriff to have an armed guard. What had happened is that somebody turned in a speaker's card that had a swastika drawn on it. And I think it's irresponsible for us to just ignore that. And so
the deputies were brought here before that date, Mr. Spering. You were told.
That's right. They were here before that happened.
We have evidence of that, Mr. Spering, on videotape.
You know, when you receive that, you can't ignore it. You know, when something does happen, somebody's going to say, why did you ignore it? And so you have to turn it over to the sheriff and let him decide what is the best course of action. That's not my decision, that's his. And I have secret meetings going. I hope you do go forward with this, because I think the truth will come out. Just because somebody says there's secret meetings doesn't mean there are secret meetings. I would extend and have any person come forward and talk about any secret meeting I've been involved in, because I don't know it. And just because somebody says it doesn't make it true. And so, you know, I have a real concern about that. And you know, the very foundation of this country, you look at the current Congress we have today, you know, the Republicans are making a lot of votes without one single Democrat support. Is that wrong? I don't think it is. And so it's just...
This isn't a partisan issue.
To vote what we think is right, and that's what we're doing. But I thought it's important that this issue is going to be raised. I think it's important to keep talking about why the board is concerned. When you receive a speaker's card that has a swastika on it, I think you take it serious.
If the shoe fits, you must wear it.
Michael, the police were called to take this chair away from me here and remove the chair. I had the police come here.
Stop.
Okay, well, you called the police then. Were I'm a threat to you?
No, you're just out of order.
Threat, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, do we have